Hi everyone, my name is Terri and welcome to my channel, The Pink Dumbbell Problem, and a new episode in the Friday Fact Day series where I get to talk about my work in fitness, feminism, and philosophy. And today's facts are: fitness video red flags that aren't actually red flags. This has kind of turned into a mini-series for me. What was supposed to have been one video talking about red flags in fitness videos kind of morphed into a three-parter, and this is the third part. So there will be links in the information box down below where you can find the first two parts. And normally my videos are all pretty standalone, but this one you might actually want to watch the other two first if you haven't seen them yet. In my work as a fitness instructor, I get asked a lot about what videos are good and what aren't, what's safe, what's dangerous, that sort of thing. One of the things I've noticed is that certain people will say something's a bad video because of something they just don't like. So I want to break down a few of those that are maybe red flags for who you're talking to, but they're not red flags that make the video bad. So the first one is if the video has a goofy name. And there's a lot of them out there. And probably the original in that was the Buns of Steel video, which later became a series and had spin-offs of, Abs of Steel and Thighs of Steel and so on and so on. Yes, it's a goofy name. And there's been plenty others since. The home video aspect of the fitness education industry is particularly notorious for that, partially just because it's what sticks in your head and it makes you remember the video name. So when you go to buy it, you remember it. Honestly, just because something is called, the Brazilian butt lift or yoga booty ballet or Buns of Steel doesn't mean it's a bad workout. In fact, quite often those are excellent workouts. All those ones that I just mentioned are fantastic workouts. I've seen most of the videos in each of those series and really, really enjoyed them. So a goofy name, not a red flag. Second one is when there's problems with how the video is filmed or other technology issues with the quality of the video itself, not the content. So in my last two videos, I talked about the content, and I did kind of mention a little bit about things like videos, filming angles and things like that. When a presenter is new and there's not a whole lot of budget for their video, or maybe the production company is new, the quality of the video might not always be fantastic. Now, it's a lot easier now with things like phones and high quality cameras, but in earlier days, the film quality could be quite low. The other thing is that if there's a crew filming the instructor, they might not have any idea how fitness works. And quite a few years ago, when dance fitness was hitting a peak of a trend, there was a video went around, and it wasn't a bad workout, but what happened was there was a couple of points in the video where the instructor was saying, now do this with your feet. And she was doing whatever with her feet, but we don't know what it was because the camera was shooting her from the chest up. And obviously the camera operator had no idea what they were supposed to be filming. That's not the instructor's fault. And that's not a reflection on the quality of the content. But a lot of people were saying, oh, it's a horrible, horrible workout. Don't do it because you can't even see what she's talking about. Same goes for the lighting and the sound quality. They might not be perfect, but you want the instructor using the music well, even if the music doesn't sound great coming through your speakers. It's too bad when that happens, but we don't all have the multi-million-dollar budget for a professional infomercial. And that kind of connects to the third one, which is style in general. And I've seen and heard this from quite a lot of people over the years. Oh, any workout of type X, Y, and Z is terrible. You'll often hear it with the more gentler forms of exercise, things like Tai Chi and yoga and Pilates and ballet bar. And people say, oh, that's not a real workout. Well, that's a style preference. Not everybody loves the hardcore boot camp. Not everybody loves a gentle chair yoga for seniors. It's all about what the individual person that's watching it needs from the workout. Problem is that when a lot of people tell you what their preferences are, they're not particularly objective, and they can't always determine the difference between this is the kind of workout I like versus this is a good quality or poor quality workout. And that's not fair to the instructor. That's not fair to any educator in any situation. Just because you don't like the subject or the way it's taught or the format doesn't mean the workout itself is bad. It's just not your thing. And finally, and this is a big one and probably a bit controversial, the appearance of the instructor is not what determines whether or not the workout is good. We have a big thing in the fitness industry, in the education side of the fitness industry in particular, that an instructor's appearance, their body shape, their size, and especially for the women, how pretty an instructor is your quote unquote best selling point. It's your best PR. The problem with that is it's extremely limiting as to who gets to be the instructor on the screen. And in reality, if you go to, your local recreation center or community center where there's classes going on, the instructors probably 99.9% of them aren't going to look like the instructors you see in most fitness videos. So obviously that goes for size first and foremost. An instructor does not have to be thin. An instructor, especially male instructors, do not have to be super bulky, full of muscle. An instructor can be any size or shape and still be a really good instructor. Production and marketing has really done a number on us on this, in that we have this affiliation in our minds that exercise equals thinness or weight loss or things like that. And it actually doesn't. It's really a very tiny percentage of weight loss can be down to fitness. It helps, absolutely. Certainly helps maintain a certain weight. Absolutely helps you put on muscle and gain flexibility and all the other great things that fitness gives you. But it doesn't necessarily make you lose body fat. So if you have an instructor in front of you who has some body fat, even a lot of body fat, doesn't mean they're bad at teaching and doesn't mean they're teaching a bad workout. Same goes for age, by the way. Here in real life, I have several colleagues that are well into their late 70s and still teaching fitness classes. I don't mean they're teaching chair yoga to seniors. I mean they're in there teaching step aerobics and boot camp. Just because an instructor is not under the age of 40 or 50 or whatever you consider the cutoff doesn't mean they're a bad instructor. And again, doesn't mean the workout's bad. And it doesn't mean, if they're an older adult, doesn't mean that the workout's only for seniors. Seniors aren't the only ones who require modifications to their classes. Anybody with disability, injury, any kind of need for modification could be in the right zone for a quote unquote seniors class. Finally, in the same category is disability. Just because an instructor has a visible, obvious disability when you're watching them on screen doesn't mean they're a bad instructor. In fact, probably means they're an exceptional instructor, because look at what they've had to overcome to get to this point. Like, there are instructors who teach who have amputations and have artificial limbs. There are instructors who, I know a couple personally, who wear hearing aids when they teach. So there's all kinds of disability there that may look unusual because we're not used to seeing fitness instructors or fit athletic people who have a disability, except perhaps in the Paralympics every couple of years. Even for me, before I had laser eye surgery and I wore glasses, people would be like, "Oh, are you the secretary in the gym?" And I'd be like, "No, I'm the trainer." And they're like, "Oh, how can you be the trainer?" We just have this impression that anybody with any kind of impairment, even something simple as slight vision impairment that requires wearing glasses, that they can't be the athletic one and they can't be, therefore, a very good instructor. Age, weight, body type, body shape, and then any kind of disability. No, those don't make for a bad instructor, and they don't mean that the instructor is creating a bad workout. So there you have it, folks. Real quick one today, but those are the red flags that aren't red flags at all, but people think they are. That's not going to fit in the thumbnail, is it? No. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and please remember to click around in some of the links down below. See the first 2 parts of this video series, as well as there's links down there for supporting me on Patreon or buying my t-shirts on Threadless, and where you can find me on other platforms. Come see me on Twitter. That's where I am most of the time. And let me know down below in the comment box, are there things that you've heard people say, "Oh, this is a terrible workout, don't bother with that one, don't spend your money on that one," when really they were just kind of talking about preference, or maybe they were letting some of their prejudices show through? Let me know some of those in the comments down below. And as always, lift heavy, fight the patriarchy, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.